Hello and welcome to a brand new recovery for the games that weren't archives today with the release of Sensible Soccer on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now this is a game that has been missing for just over 32 years, but is one that we never knew was missing in the first place. This is the very first time that the game has been shown, and as far as we can tell, there may not have actually been any press releases about the game being in the works, so news of a conversion may come as a bit of a surprise to fans of the Sensible Soccer franchise. However, if like anyone does manage to find a preview or news snippet regarding the game on the NES, then please let us know and we'll add to the page. So basically what happened is that when Enigma Variations were porting Sensible Soccer to the original Game Boy, unbeknown to us all, Mark Greenshields was also working on a NES conversion, using the original Amiga code as a reference point. So although the conversion actually progressed very well after around about 6 months of work, Mark revealed that they didn't feel that the conversion was good enough for the market, and so the work was abruptly stopped. By 1993, the platform was also beginning to decline, at least in the UK, so that may have been a factor for not trying again to convert the title from scratch. It can't be recalled exactly, though it's plausible that Renegade perhaps even decided to drop the conversion completely and just focus on a Game Boy release. So this year in 2025, Games That Weren't was tasked with doing some disk recovery work and found a backup of the final source code. So after a bit of work, and thanks to Martin Pugh and Paul Hughes for their advice, we managed to get the game up and running that you can see running here. And now you can actually check it out for yourselves via the downloads on the website. And I have to say, this was a real magical moment actually seeing it all come to life, especially as this was something that I grew up with back in the day on the Amiga. Now surprisingly, the game is essentially complete, but it does have some glitches and there are still some bugs to iron out. Overall though, I'm actually really impressed with how close the graphics are to the Amiga original, even though there are some obvious compromises due to palette limitations. But the footballer sprites in particular feel sort of very close and authentic to the Amiga sprites. There's probably like some missing animation frames and that kind of thing, but it looks like Sensible Soccer. And the other thing as well, the menus are all functional and there are even some in-between screens like you expect from the very first game that was released. The one thing I acknowledge though is that it's lacking some final polish. So the sound effects in particular is quite weedy and there's no sort of proper crowd noises throughout, only just like when you score a goal. There's some palette tweaks that may have been needed at some point, especially for the title screen and the menus. There's also no crowd or panel graphics in the background outside of the pitch. And I think the CPU possibly needs a little bit further work just to kind of tighten things up a little. And they're things which I think the team were working on at the time, at the point when it was actually cancelled. However, crucially, the game is fully playable, and I think it's a huge shame that it wasn't decided to kind of persevere and try and finish it off. I think it has got real promise, and I'm very impressed with what's here. So hopefully what we'll do is, over time, we'll try and learn more from Mark and also from Darren Melbourne, who was around at the time, just about the development in general, just to kind of update our page on the game. But for now, go and check out a piece of history for yourself and a brand new Sensible Soccer game that's been lost for 32 years. The rest of this video now is just going to kind of showcase more of the gameplay. So thank you very much, and we'll see you with the next recovery.